In our last lesson, we talked about government regulations. Like there are certain rules set by the government in order to protect the consumers from the bad practices of the producers of salads. Like expiry date of the consumer items should be mentioned, and all the ingredients should also be there on the label of that product. And one thing more, we studied about price regulation, how government is using the tool of maximum and minimum prices in the market in order to have fair pricing. Okay, and that was also having certain degree of inefficiency, that market prices which are set by the government, either they are maximum or minimum, they cause the market disequilibrium. Okay, today we are going to have the lesson about the other tools. The other tool is the direct provision of goods and services by the government. Why is there need for the direct provision of goods and services by the government, and what types of goods government will produce in the economy? So we studied there are two types of goods. One is called public goods, another is called what? Merit goods. So do you think the reasons for the provision of merit goods and public goods are the same one? They are not the same one. The reason is that merit goods are actually the private goods. They are provided by the private sector, but there is under allocation of resources by the private producers. Alright? Merit goods are those which are associated with benefits, but the consumers are not realizing those benefits by themselves. So when they are informed about those benefits, they will increase the demand. And what types of goods I said? There is going to be the merit good, like education and health. Education and health are provided by the private sector as well. So we see over here, this is what the demand of education, this is the supply of education by the private sector. Clear? But the social desirable level, I said to you, this is the private equilibrium without the information about the benefits of education and health. So when information is provided to the consumers, its demand will increase. So the social desirable level of output of merit goods should be this Q2. Okay? So government will cover this gap. This is the government supply. You can write over here. This is the private producer supply. This is supplied by the government. This is the government provision of education. Because this was the gap in the market. Market was only supplying this quantity of education or health services by the private sector. Whereas government will fill this gap by directly providing these merit goods in the market. Now government will become the producer of the merit goods. It will also create employment opportunities for the people as well. So merit goods are under-provided, so when their demand is increased by providing the people information, the necessary information is provided to them, then the rest of the gap which was left over by the private sector will be covered or fulfilled by the government supply. Government supply will be there. This quantity will be supplied by the government in order to improve economic efficiency.
So from 0 to Q1 it was
0 to Q1, that is the private sector is covering this provision. And the rest of the gap from Q1 to Q2 will be covered by the government. So actually government is fulfilling the gap. What is the social desirable level of merit goods and what actually is supplied in the market by the private sector. Okay. So now the reason of the merit good is that although they are provided, they are the privately provided goods and services, but they are under provided. There is under allocation of resources. Market forces are not delivering the economic efficiency. So that's why there is a market failure. So government will fulfill that gap. It will allocate resources in the production of those merit goods, and it will improve the allocative efficiency. Clear? Do you think what the government is supplying us, it is more successful in achieving the economic efficiency, and it can better compete with the private sector by providing these merit goods in the market? Do you think it happens in the case of low income countries or middle income countries? We see that this quantity Q2 should be supplied by the government, the gap, but actually the government's measurement about the demand of merit goods, that may go wrong. There are more schools and colleges and universities which are needed to be provided by the government, but government is underestimating again. Government estimations may go wrong. Government is lacking funds to provide free education to the people. Why government is lacking funds? Because the tax base of our country or middle income countries, that is very less number of taxpayers are there. So what our tax is collected, most of it is paid to the state-owned enterprises to cover their losses, or sometimes it is used to provide the defense of the country. And less resources are left over, less tax revenues are left over for the provision of education and health. For example, in our country and many other developing countries, they only spend 4 to 8% of GDP on the education and health sector. Okay, that is very less amount to provide education and health in the country. Alright. So we have lack of funds, so government will become unsuccessful if it is not achieving the allocative efficiency, whatever is the social desirable level of output of merit goods, but government is trying to achieve it. Due to lack of tax revenues, government is unsuccessful to increase the economic efficiency of the market of merit goods. Clear? Now what other goods government should provide directly? That is the public good. Do you think public goods and the merit goods are the same one? They are not the same.
But sir, they have a common name, the public welfare.
The welfare aim is same, but we say the characteristics are different. Here we said the public goods are non-excludable. What are these? They are non-excludable, whereas merit goods are not the non-excludable. If someone hasn't paid a fee for the private school, do you think school will allow that student to continue education without fee? He or she can be struck off. The excludability is possible in case of merit goods. Alright, because it is a private good. And there is also rivalry in case of the private goods or the merit goods, because once you are getting education, so its supply for other people may also decrease if classes are overcrowded. Alright? But in case of public goods, we see they are the non-excludable, we cannot exclude anyone. And they are non-rivalry as well. That if someone is using the public good, its supply is still available for the other people. Like if I have used a road early in the morning, the road is still available for other commuters. And they are non-rejectable. Once they are provided, can anyone deny that he rejects the provision of this public good? Not at all. They are non-rejectable. Alright? They are non-rejectable and they are having a problem of free rider problem. What do you mean by free rider problem? Do you know what is the meaning of free rider problem? That everyone wants to enjoy the benefit but no during the night, but no one is willing to pay for it. That's why we have darkness in the streets if no one is providing that. So these are the reasons of the public goods. So we have the missing market. What is this? The missing market. This is the missing market of the public goods. Market does not exist for the public. Can you buy defense street lighting in the market? There is a missing market. Okay. So here is, in case of merit goods, I am taking the comparison of these two because the questions may come like this. In case of merit goods, we have the existing market, but here market does not exist. There is no allocation of resources in the production of public goods. So what happens? Now from the base, government has to provide the public goods. They are not provided by the private sector. For example, defense is not provided, street lighting is not provided. So government will allocate resources in the production of public goods because they are not provided, they are not supplied by the private producers. Clear or not? So we said, why government is directly providing the goods and services in the free market economy? No, it is no more free. It has become a mixed economy when government has become the producer of merit goods, or it has become the producer of public goods. Now it has also become the employer of the labor as well. Who will run these organizations? The state-owned enterprises, they require the manpower. Now the government will hire those workers in order to achieve the goals of providing the merit goods and public goods in the market. So in case of merit goods, they are totally absent in free market. So government will become the producer of these public goods, not the merit goods. Public goods are totally absent. There is no market. So government will supply them from its base to each and everyone. There is no distinction that only rich people are provided the defense, whereas the poor are not provided. Only rich are provided the street lighting and roads, and not the poor people. There is no any type of discrimination by the government. So government will equally spend funds in the provision of public goods. Clear? Now what is the other two transfer payments? Now, if we studied in case of regulation, government was only making the rules. But in case of production of goods, government has become the producer and employer. What is happening over here in the transfer payments? We knew that in free market economy, there is going to be unfair distribution of income and wealth. So in order to achieve fair distribution or equity in the economy, what government does, we have different income groups in the society as well. Some are very rich, others are very poor. So in order to have redistribution of income, government uses taxation system. Government collects taxes from the rich people, and the taxes may be progressive. Progressive means that the rich will bear the more burden of the taxes, and these taxes, they will be distributed in the form of transfer payments to those who actually deserve. Like these are the vulnerable groups. If they are not helped by the government in the form of transfer payment, they will fall into poverty. And poverty means what? They will not be able to fulfill the basic necessities of life by themselves. So in order to keep the people of the country out of this poverty trap, government uses a tool of transfer payments. And what are the examples of transfer payment? One is called unemployment benefit. Who will receive this benefit? A person who is looking for a job, is willing and able to do a job but could not find. How many people in a country are looking for this type of practical work, but they are unsuccessful to get a job or any work, so government will pay them transfer payment in the form of what it is? The unemployment benefit. Government takes taxes from the rich and now it is redistributed to these people. And some other types of transfer payments are child care benefit. Child care benefit. In the welfare states, the governments, they pay the child care benefits to the people, to the couples, that their children should be properly grown up. They should not be having any fear of less income that they have. So everything will be cared by the government. Okay. Another type of transfer payment is pension. To the old age people, when people get older after the age of 60 years, and in some of the countries after the age of 65 years, those who have more average life expectancy. So in those countries like in Canada, the retirement age is 65 or 64 years. So as a person gets at this age, so in his whole working life he has paid taxes to the government. Now he is not having the physical abilities to work more, so government will provide them an old age benefit which is called pension. Okay, because if they are not taken care of by the government, they will also be falling into poverty. They will also have they have to face the poverty. So in order to keep these people out of poverty, government will pay them the transfer payments in the form of pensions. These transfer payments are non-taxable. Government is not collecting any tax from these payments because they are already been collected from the taxes of other people. And why do we say these are the transfer payments? Do you know?
Because it transfers from rich to the poor.
Yes, and no corresponding output is produced. Right now, if I am earning, I am producing the income for myself, I am teaching to you people. So when my tax is transferred to the pensioners, no corresponding output is produced in this transfer of payments. That's why the transfer payments are not included in the measurement of national income in the GDP. Okay, so these are only the transfer of funds from those who have earned the income to those who are vulnerable. If they are not provided, they will fall into poverty. So this is what they have the transfer payments. Actually, this tool will improve the equity situation. The distribution of income will become fair, and this tool, direct provision, will improve the economic efficiency of the market. Okay, when government is becoming the producer of merit and public goods, so it is actually improving the economic efficiency. The resource allocation will improve, whereas in case of transfer payments, government will redistribute income from rich to poor. This is the main difference of the two tools which we studied today. So in our next class, we will be doing the rest of the tools like financial intervention. We will be studying about direct and indirect taxes and what is the nature of the tax, whether it is progressive, proportional or regressive, in our next class. Okay, thank you.